rebuild that Roku render target. You might remember this one. So with the text and then the Roku device, we skip the headphones, and then we'll do the gradient in the background, etc. Okay, so for those who are not familiar with Illustrator, I will show this in Illustrator. We will render actually the two separately, so the two objects, and then compose it. Because when I show both, and I will also go to cycles, we can see that the lights from the remote are hitting the base. That's not really what I want. So I will do one rendering with the base and then one rendering with the remote. So I turned all this off. Then go to output. That's 150 for the size. So I go 50% more than the image. Then we can go to the render. Let's see what we have. Base contrast. That looks terrible. Let's set this to very high contrast, and we get really nice blacks. Or we could also go with the high contrast, not very high. Path tracing, let's say 250 for a quick rendering. Okay, so let's do a rendering. Come on, computer. You can do this. Chop, chop. And there we are. Done. Oh, we don't have a black background. How do we do this? Well, inside render, there we have film. If we click on film and go down to transparent, there you see that this makes the background transparent. Okay, so we have to do this rendering one more time. And there you see it only renders the object without the transparent background. No, it renders the image with the transparent background. Wah, wah. Save as, desktop, base. Very good. Okay, close this. No, this no we want to see. This we don't want to see. And do a render. And just 1 second. And we are, come on, we're done. So file, save as, there, remote, save, very good. Now we have these two images with transparent backgrounds, and because of that, I can go to Illustrator. I will just open this image, so I have this as a template. There we are. I go to the artboard because I want the artboard to snap to the same dimension here. There. Come on, Illustrator. Then these two images I can drag in. Zoom out a little bit. When I move this one, hold Shift so they scale proportionally. And this one I move to where I need it. This is way too big. Let's say like there. This I scale down to, move this to there. Okay, be careful which one you select. This one is too big, way too big. Okay, this is better now. Let's get this a little bit closer, maybe there. So the highlights and that corner overlap. Oh, where are the layers? There are the layers. Oh, there we see. Then we want to create a rectangle with the fill color. So rectangle from there to there, and just only do this to here for the moment. We want to fill the color. There we have the color. Now we can drag this one to there, push this behind and hide this for the moment so I can see the rest because there's a gradient. And a gradient tool. So gradient tool, yeah, I can use an ellipse or circle and hold the Alt key, hold the Shift key. That creates then a circle. To create a gradient, click the gradient here. Then, so we want this to be radial, white to transparent. Click this color. Opacity is 0. There we are. This is also a little bit too strong. Can move this a little bit to there. And then let's move this one behind our rendering. Also here behind it, show this again. And then we can play a little bit with the size. Let's maybe make this to there. There. Okay. So it looks like they actually had that ellipse even bigger. Okay, so the last stuff is then write the text via the text tool. And then we can type in enjoy the powerful HD streaming Roku streaming player. This should be white. Let's select the text, double click, and then select the white color. Okay. Oh, Jesus. I just installed Illustrator crap, since I know most of you will use it. So I'm doing the demo with Illustrator. So all the pop-ups are still coming in Windows. Where's my text stuff? Text, 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 type. This was under type and character. And this font is terrible. I want to use maybe, I don't know, Helvetica Light. Condensed. Do we have Neue? This is too big. Neue Light, yeah. Then maybe a little bit smaller. This has to be further apart. There, very good. We can actually squeeze this a little bit together. And there. Ta-da. So we match this, maybe a little bit more in terms of size. Turn this on. Finished. There we are. See? And very easy and effective. Render everything out as different elements and then put that into Illustrator or not Photoshop, because we want to work with text and vectors. Again, you can use Illustrator or Photoshop. It's all up to you. You have just to rent it. But I personally, for my work, I use Affinity Designer and Photo because it's $40. Does the same. It's a one-time purchase. And as a small image editor inside of Photoshop, I also very often use Pixelmator. It's only for Mac, so it's $14, super cheap. And these are Mac and PC. And for vector work, online Gravity Designer works too. And see you next week.